It is the year 2025 A. The sun rises over the colossal ruins of the Roman Empire, stretching from the frigid shores of Caledonia to the tropical sands of Egyptus, from the Atlantic Ocean to the edges of the known world. But wait, what? How did Rome survive for nearly 2,000 years without collapsing? In fact, they not only survived, but became the most powerful empire in history, ruling over more land and people than any empire before or since. Welcome to my channel. Today we are going to find out what would happen if the Roman Empire never fell in 476 AD. Instead, let's imagine that they managed to adapt and change with the times, eventually becoming a high-tech global powerhouse by the year 2025. This is an unbroken empire, a world where Rome not only endured, but thrived. And all because they had one crucial advantage: an abundant supply of clean energy. By the year 300 AD, Rome mastered both geothermal energy from the volcanic Italian peninsula and harnessing solar power from North Africa. These innovations gave them a massive surplus of energy, which allowed them to build aqueducts across Europe, North Africa, and the Middle East, bringing water to dry lands and powering farms that could produce food for growing cities. Even when other empires fell around them, Rome was able to feed their growing population and continued to grow. Eventually, the whole of Europe, much of North Africa, and parts of Asia were under the rule of the Roman emperor. This energy surplus also fueled their military, allowing them to conquer new territories and secure their borders. Over time, the geography of the Roman Empire stabilized, forming the shape we today call Nova Roma, centered around the Italian peninsula and extending across 3 continents. Within its borders lay a diverse array of cultures, peoples, and technologies, all united under the Pax Romana, the Romano peace. The reason why Rome was able to last so long is simple: they adapted. As other empires fell apart due to bad leadership and economic decline, Rome was able to modernize their governance. Instead of having emperors who ruled as godlike monarchs, the Senate chose an imperator, a military leader whose job was to defend the empire, but who still had to answer to the Senate. Every decade, the imperator's term ended, and the Senate would hold elections to choose a new imperator. This system ensured that there would always be a competent military leader while preventing any single person from accumulating too much power. In the year 2025, the capital of Rome has become a metropolis full of wonders, a place where ancient architecture meets modern technology. People from all over the world come to visit the Colosseum, the largest cultural hub in the empire, where gladiatorial combat, animal hunts, and executions are performed daily. The nearby Roman Forum has been transformed into a bustling marketplace filled with merchants hawking their wares from all corners of the empire. Above it all, the mighty dome of the Pantheon stands as a symbol of Roman ingenuity, a testament to the empire's ability to adapt and change with the times. Walking down the streets of Nova Roma, you would see buildings adorned with solar-powered lights that illuminate the city at night. You would hear the rumble of maglev trains as they transport passengers and goods throughout the empire. The streets are clean and orderly, patrolled by soldiers equipped with advanced weaponry. The people of Nova Roma are proud of their empire and their city. They know that they live in the center of the most powerful and advanced civilization in the world. But how do they keep it all together? Well, first off, they've got the best roads in the game. Thanks to their aqueduct system, travel is fast and safe. Plus, they've got all kinds of crazy infrastructure projects like bridges and tunnels that make getting around a breeze. And don't even get me started on their military. Rome's legions are the most disciplined and well-trained fighting force in the known world. They've got advanced weapons and armor, and their tactics are just straight up deadly. And if that's not enough, Rome's economy is booming. They've got a stable currency, a strong trade network, and a thriving merchant class. It's thus no wonder that people from all over the empire come to the capital to strike it rich. But it's not all sunshine and roses in Nova Roma. Underneath the glitz and glamour of the capital, there's a growing divide between the rich and the poor. The urban elites who live in luxury in the city centers are becoming increasingly disconnected from the rural citizens who live in poverty on the outskirts. This tension between the haves and have-nots is a constant threat to the stability of Rome. Will they be able to bridge the gap before it's too late? Speaking of too late, we should probably get back to the story. Now, Rome's greatest strength, however, is also its biggest weakness: their sheer size. While their infrastructure allows them to control such a large area, it also means that communication between provinces can take months. For example, news of an invasion on the northern borders might not reach the capital for weeks or even months, which could be enough time for the enemy to cause massive damage. Despite this challenge, Rome has managed to maintain the Pax Romana, a period of peace and stability across the empire for centuries. Their secret diplomacy and advanced technology. Rather than relying solely on their military to maintain control, Rome has built alliances with other civilizations across the world, trading and diplomatically maneuvering to keep the peace. And when diplomacy fails, they've got a high-tech army to back them up. From flying machines to energy weapons, Rome's legions are equipped with the most advanced technology in the world. But even with all these advantages, Rome is not invincible. Outside the borders of the empire, rival confederations of barbarians are growing stronger, eyeing the riches of Rome with envy. As we head further into the story, these external pressures will become harder to ignore, forcing Rome to make difficult choices about how to protect their empire. As we wrap up our tour of Neo-Rome, we can't help but feel a sense of pride and awe at the accomplishments of this ancient yet futuristic civilization. But we also have to admit that there are cracks beginning to show in their seemingly invincible facade. The growing divide between the rich and poor, the challenges of maintaining control over such a vast empire, and the threat of external enemies. All of these issues threaten to bring an end to the Roman way of life. But Rome has endured for centuries already. Perhaps they will find a way to overcome these challenges and continue to thrive for centuries to come. Or maybe it's all just a matter of time before this great empire crumbles to dust. Only time will tell. As you explore the markets of Nova Roma, you'll notice that the vendors are using digital denarii to buy and sell their goods. These small, lightweight coins are made of a special alloy that is both durable and easy to counterfeit. They're the perfect currency for a high-tech world, but they still bear the image of the Roman emperors on one side and the goddess Roma on the other, a symbol of the empire's enduring legacy. And although merchants prefer to use the digital form of denarius, you'll still see them being used alongside gold and silver coins, especially in rural areas where technology is less prevalent. Traveling across the empire, you'll notice that despite the diversity of cultures and peoples, everyone seems to be getting along pretty well. That's because Latin has emerged as a refined common language that everyone from the emperor to the peasant can understand. Of course, there are regional variations in dialects, but Latin is the lingua franca of the empire, a unifying force that brings people together rather than tearing them apart. Yet this uneasy calm is deceptive, for beneath the surface, tensions are brewing. In the sprawling slums of Nova Roma, a group known as the Liberators are using encrypted networks to organize and spread their message. They believe that the wealth of the empire should be shared equally among all citizens, and they're not afraid to speak out against the growing divide between the rich and poor. The authorities know that the Liberators are planning something big, but they can't seem to stop them. The group is too well organized, too committed to their cause. And as the years go by, it seems like the Liberators are only growing stronger. Will the Senate listen to the pleas of the people and address the growing divide before it is too late? Or will the Liberators be forced to take matters into their own hands? Stay tuned to find out. Now, while Rome has conquered most of the Mediterranean and beyond, there are still some pockets of resistance out there. In the far north, the fierce Germanic tribes hold out against the Roman advance. To the east, the Sassanid Persians have carved out an independent kingdom in the mountains. And in the west, the mysterious Celtic Druids continue to resist Roman influence in their sacred groves. Rome's legions have struggled to subdue these stubborn holdouts, and it's clear that the empire's borders are not truly secure. But it's not just external threats that Rome has to worry about. There are also forces within the empire that threaten to tear it apart. The growing divide between the rich and poor, the challenges of governing over such a vast area, and the threat of external enemies. All of these issues threaten to bring an end to the Roman way of life. But Rome has endured for centuries already. Perhaps they will find a way to overcome these challenges and continue to thrive for centuries to come. Or maybe it's all just a matter of time before this great empire crumbles to dust. Only time will tell. So what do you think? How would Rome have changed if they never fell in 476 AD? Do you think they would have become a high-tech global powerhouse? Or would they have crumbled under the weight of their own success? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you for joining us on this journey through time. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to stay updated on our latest adventures. Until next time, remember to keep an eye on the future, because anything can happen.